Hey everyone, getting ready for that AZ-900 exam? Then you are in exactly the right spot. We're about to tackle one of the biggest topics you'll see on there, IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS.
And let me be super clear about this. Understanding these service models isn't just a nice to have. Nope. This is an absolutely core concept, and you are for sure going to see questions on it. Nailing this down gets you a huge step closer to passing. So what is the actual difference between these three? And maybe even more importantly for the exam, who is responsible for what? That's the million-dollar question, right? Well, let's break it all down, starting from the ground up with IaaS.
Okay, let's kick things off at the very foundation of the cloud stack with IaaS. That stands for Infrastructure as a Service. Just think of this as the basic building blocks for everything else.
With IaaS, you're pretty much renting the hardware. Instead of you having to buy and manage all those physical servers, storage racks, and networking gear in your own data center, you just rent those raw computing resources from Azure. It's like getting all the ingredients delivered to your door so you can build whatever you want from scratch.
Now this slide, this is super important. This shows you the shared responsibility model for IaaS. See the two columns? Azure handles all the physical stuff, the data center, the network, the servers, but you're responsible for everything on top of that, the operating system, any middleware, your data, and your apps. The key takeaway is simple. IaaS gives you the most control, but it also means you have the most work to do.
So, when would you actually use this? Well, the classic example is spinning up and managing virtual machines, or maybe hosting a website where you need total control over the server environment. And for your exam, the number one example you need to burn into your brain is Azure Virtual Machines. You see virtual machines, you should immediately think IaaS.
All right, let's climb up to the next level of our stack, Platform as a Service or PaaS. This is where we start to offload some of that work, and it's a game changer for developers. With PaaS, things get a whole lot easier. Azure is giving you a complete environment to develop and deploy your applications. You don't have to worry about the servers anymore or patching the operating systems. You just get to focus on the fun stuff, writing your code and managing your apps.
And you can see that shift in responsibility so clearly right here. Remember, with IaaS, you are stuck managing the OS and all that middleware. Well, with PaaS, poof, that's Azure's problem now. Your responsibility shrinks way down to just your applications and your data. That's a massive reduction in the management headache.
This is absolutely perfect for things like web app development, or if you need a database but you don't want the hassle of managing the platform it runs on. The key Azure service you have to remember here for the AZ-900 is Azure App Service. That is your textbook PaaS example.
And finally, we've reached the top of the stack. This is the one you're probably using every single day, maybe without even realizing it. Software as a Service, or SaaS.
This one is the easiest to get your head around, really. With SaaS, you're just renting a finished application. My favorite analogy is that it's like renting a fully furnished apartment. You don't build the building, you don't worry about the plumbing, you just show up with your stuff and start living in it.
And this chart just says it all, doesn't it? Look at that responsibility stack. The provider, in this case Azure or Microsoft, manages pretty much everything. The application, the platform, the infrastructure, all of it. Your only job is to manage your own data inside the app and decide who gets to use it.
And yeah, you know tons of these already. Think about it. Your email, collaboration tools like Microsoft Teams, CRM software, these are all SaaS. And the big one from Microsoft's world? You got it. Microsoft Office 365. You just log in through your browser and start working.
Okay, let's put it all together now and compare these models side by side. Because really, understanding how that line of responsibility moves between them is one of the best ways to answer those tricky exam questions.
This comparison chart is your golden ticket for the exam. Seriously, just look at the pattern. As you go from IaaS to PaaS, responsibility for the operating system shifts to Azure. Then as you move from PaaS to SaaS, responsibility for the application code shifts to the provider. But what's the one thing you always manage no matter what? Your data and who has access to it. That is a classic exam question right there.
So, we've covered a lot of ground. Let's boil it all down to the absolute must-know takeaways you need to have locked in your head before you walk into that exam.
If you walk away with just one thing, let it be this. Number one, with IaaS, you rent the IT infrastructure, the servers, the storage. Number two, with PaaS, you rent the development platform, the workshop to build your apps. And number three, with SaaS, you rent the finished software. Infrastructure, platform, software. Bam! It really is that simple. And just like that, you get it. You now have a rock-solid grasp on the difference between IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS, and you understand that all-important shared responsibility model. You are officially one huge step closer to acing that exam. Now, good luck with your studies.